Nobody say.
Hello?
Hello.
Who's going first?
Welcome to We All Scream with the Horror Honeyz. Yeah, they're gonna all scream. Everybody scream. Okay. Ouch.
I took a low pitched scream. My mom would say, she's like, I always know it was my kid outside screaming, because all the other little girls had very like high pitched screams, and yours was a very low pitch. And I was like, oh, okay.
All right.
Who cares?
So,
if anyone, I mean, there's trigger warnings here. If you cannot handle this kind of, and you don't want to hear it, please, by all means, no. I understand if you want to click off, because this is not something that, if you can't handle it,
people.
You don't.
You've been warned.
I'm talking. This is a trigger, okay? If you don't like to hear, stuff like this, you need to just either, you need to click off, because it's not going to get any better.
right.
Okay. So, oh God, yes, I'm sorry.
But and it just oh. I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault.
The animal lover in me is
Yeah, it's tough to stomach. It really is. It's extremely hard to stomach. Are you going in, or I'm sorry, babe. I'm gonna be rude. Just making it obvious for the edit here. Oh, good. Thank you. Your boots off.
It's okay, I had to mute myself because Bennett kept talking to me when he came back in a little while ago. I'm like, you see what I'm doing? Yeah.
Ironic too. I had to mute too, just for a moment. As well.
I couldn't even mute. I couldn't even do that because I guess I'm the main protagonist on this. Okay, so all right.
Yeah. Well, it's your idea.
I know. Well, I mean, I didn't. Yeah. Well, you guys kind of fed into that, not telling you in the beginning because
I like to be surprised. I feel like
It is. It is. Okay. All right. We're good. So here we go. Back on. So where was I? Now I lost my place. The videos that keep coming in. The monkeys, the bathing. Right. And you're seeing them getting, and I mean, a lot of them, they're screeching, they're screaming. And you think, well, is this just a tantrum because they don't want to listen? Is this what's going on? But you're starting to wonder now, because after seeing that one video, you're just like, what are they doing? What kind of water are they putting in them? So they start, putting them in there, and they start sudding them up really, got the soap and everything, after taking their fucking diapers off and everything, and they're soaping them up and just seems like a lot of soap. Lot of soap for such a small baby. And they're setting them up, and they're going down. Really? Sorry, guys.
It's okay. Actually, it sounded it kind of fit.
Yeah.
So they're setting this little baby monkey, and I mean, they're putting a lot of soap on it. I don't know what kind of soap they're using, but and I mean, they're going everywhere. Whenever they got it going, they're right in the face, and I mean, there is no. The monkey has a face. The monkey has eyes. Okay, I don't care. I don't know. Everyone's experienced the whole No More Tears with Johnson & Johnson and everything. Not a sponsor, just saying.
Well, you still don't put it in any, not even like, you don't put it in a person's eyes, you don't put it in the animal's eyes. Yeah.
No, if you get it in your eyes, it's gonna hurt. And
It's not gonna feel good,
exactly. But when you see that they're doing this for like 3-4 seconds, like distinctively in their face, and you can't see their face because there's so much soap in their face, you're like,
That's.
Okay, no.
no,
No, not acceptable.
And then they're dumping water on them. This monkey is just, I mean, and I'm watching as they're holding the monkeys. You know how when you hog tie a person, where they're back here with their feet, you know, and their arms are in the back, so you can't do anything. You cannot reach in front of you. You can't. It's a control thing.
Right.
Yeah, I do that all the time. I'm used to it.
Well, yeah, I mean, what you do on your spare time, that's one thing, you know, that's, you know.
And with
consent. Consent, exactly. Consensual is different. But this is not consensual because this little baby monkey has been telling you, and they're grabbing the hands and holding them, I mean, tight in the back. I'm seeing them getting grabbed by the neck. I'm seeing them, you know, their arms are being back like this, and they're just dumping water on them, and they're just barely gasping for air. Yeah, and I'm just like, okay. Then the diaper rash videos come on. Okay, I get this. People want to put diapers on their monkeys because they don't want them messing. They don't want, I don't know how much, you know, how hard it is to train a monkey as far as potty training is concerned. The house.
Oh, diaper is convenient in that way, right?
I would assume it's probably.
On the door. I gotta go to the bathroom, or do they gotta run to the toilet? Do they use a litter box? No, they just kind of do their thing, whatever. And,
well, I assume it would be like a baby. Like a baby would probably just poop wherever and be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So you slap a diaper on them. Okay, that's fine. But, you know, a monkey is a wild animal. Do not wear diapers. They have a digest, and okay, and we're gonna go into, you know, creation stuff here, whatever you believe in and whatever, that's fine. But just like bats and birds, with monkeys, their whole digestive tract is done for a reason, and that there are certain plants in the wild, certain trees, different things that tailor to certain animals, because that's how you spread the seed. That's how they grow.
Yep.
Whether it be, you know, the loose, you know, stool.
Some like succulent seeds and stuff. You have to go through their digestive tract.
So. Yes, exactly. So, you know, that's the way they are designed. They were made this way. Okay, these animals were made this way. So if you're taking one of these animals and just like birds, I mean, birds will have a certain. You've got a grace period. You can learn, you know, what that grace period is. And a bird can tell you, because they're pretty damn smart. Birds are very smart. Thank you very much.
They are.
And they can kind of give you a notion, or give you a signal, or give you a command, because they can actually mimic us, to let you know, hey, you know, come, or, you know, I gotta go, you know, take me somewhere where I can poop. I gotta poop, you know, just, you know, you get that warning, and they're like, okay, you work with that.
Right.
Yeah, okay. That does not happen with the monkeys. Okay, it just doesn't happen with monkeys. So this monkey who's designed with the digestive tract as is, they're messy eaters, just like birds can be messy eaters. That's for a reason. It's also spreading the seed, right? And that's just the way it goes. Okay, so you're slapping a diaper on this baby monkey, which is a primate, just like humans are primates. We see this with our own babies. We have issues that come up with diaper rashes.
Right.
Yeast infections, problems with too much moisture if you're not cleaning them properly. You got to make sure they're dry. You know, you got to use certain things for them. Okay, so you got these baby monkeys with these bad things happening to their genital areas.
Ouch.
And, you know, right away, you gotta bathe them. They smell. You have to bathe them. They got poop all over their butts. We need to make sure we bathe them. So you're bathing them.
Mhm.
Then you start seeing some things. Okay. Suddenly this baby that has got, I mean, you see these babies that they're scratching. They're grabbing.
Right.
They're visibly, you see how red it is. Okay.
Mhm.
They're experiencing the same thing because if we're treating them like human
Humans.
babies, they're going to have the same things as human babies. They're not going to be able to tell just like our human babies, but at the same time, you can't expect it not to happen.
Right.
So you gotta wash it. You gotta wash that stuff off, right? But this is where it starts getting bad again, because now you're hitting another group of people that are watching the monkey video. Okay. So you see them cleaning the privates.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of time. There's a lot of spent
unneeded effort.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes, thank you. Like I said, we code this. I'm sorry guys, but yeah, I don't even want to dwell on any more than that, because as bad as you think it is, it
Worse.
is. It is.
Yes.
Because this is where the next people that are watching these videos are starting. But
Ugh.
if that
Mhm.
if that does not make it worse, the next one will.
No.
Because it can get worse than that. Okay? And it does
let's go
get worse.
further. Let's go further down, right?
So now there are other videos starting to research. And they're called the Karens. The Karens start coming in
Oh my gosh.
about the
Yes.
abuse. The abuse to these monkeys and everything. Okay? Why are you doing, this is terrible. This is bad, These people, and when I say with the Karens and you start thinking, okay, are these just overly, no, at this point, they're not really overly reacting. Because when you start seeing the stuff that I started seeing with the animals and the abuse that was starting to come in, I mean, their abuse calls, they're not just overreacting. They have a reason. But
Right.
all these other people that are producing these videos and the people that are watching these videos, shut up, Karen, go away, Karen.
Yeah.
No.
Well, are they
No.
really Karens or are they
SJWs.
SJWs? Because, Karens are usually entitled people. They believe
they
that
are.
they are entitled to something that is different.
Yes, but
Yes.
I think it goes along with the I'm right, you're wrong type thing. That's what they usually put on the net.
That's
They
what it
always
is.
find a way to justify it.
Right.
Yeah.
They justify it to be able to shut them down, because it's like, oh, you're overreacting, you're PETA, you're overreacting, this, that, save the whales, save the earth, save this, that, this. You can't do anything with anything, we want to see this or whatever because we're not around it, because the monkeys, whether they be cute or other reasons why you're actually watching those particular monkey videos, which I will get to. I don't want to, but I will get to. This is where the big clashes start coming in, and I mean, it is bad in comments.
Yeah,
It's
they
getting
get
real
nasty.
bad. Yes. But there's a
And you
reason
have to
for it,
wonder
because
why the YouTube censorship on
Yes.
comments
Thank you.
doesn't get some of this. I mean, they put in so many, and I'm not complaining
I'll touch
about
on
them.
that.
They've put in so many new safeguards for to limit what comments are coming to them and what comments are not, and also what kind of comments. They remind people like 14,000 times. I'm exaggerating. Okay. That you are on a platform where you have to curb your language. You have to be nice. Remember to be nice in your comment. How many times do you see that?
Things for me that I have to remember too. But
and you know what? And you know what I have to say, this people, is that you have to behave yourself online just as much as you would do out in public.
Right.
Don't do something you wouldn't do in a public mall, in the food court.
And there's people that do that sort of thing online, and they think that they don't know who I am. I can get away with whatever I want, and or some people yell like, "Oh, you're stifling my free speech!" And it's like, there's a difference between having free speech and being a complete asshole.
It's also called respect. Like, it's not shushing your freedom of speech. It's teaching you how to be a respectable human being.
Yes, teaching you some goddamn manners. So like, I was like, like they say like, oh, teaching that person like some manners. Like, well, we're teaching you some manners right now. We're turning the tables right now for all these people that are listening in. We don't like that. To us, that is true evil. And I'm sorry, but you're part of the problem with society. And I think it's just as evil as any boogeyman out there, as far as we glorify.
Just like any social media, there are guidelines out there. Community guidelines. They lay them out for you, even though, YouTube has gotten really tight on things, and that's, one of the issues at the horror community, especially in true crime and different things. It becomes a bit of a problem. But it's because of other people out there, okay?
Yeah.
You try to give the truth. You try to educate people, but you can only go so far now. We used to have a lot more leniency back in the day, but there's reason for that. But the thing that gets my goat is the fact that these people are crying out, these so-called Karens are crying out animal abuse, which is against YouTube guidelines. Thank you very much. They're in there.
Yes.
What consists of being animal abuse? This is where the comments start getting really bad. It becomes extremely divided. And sorry to say, but a lot of the people that are crying the abuse are getting shut down real quick. They're getting shut down real quick. Because, do I want to say two different groups? 3 different groups. Yes, this is the part that gets worse, okay? 3 different groups are shutting them down. Trying to shut them up. So at this point in my journey, I'm going to strangle my cat. That's going to be animal abuse. Oh my god! No! Sorry.
Instead, you could just scare the cat away. I think that's far better.
Yeah, he's walking away. He's going to go eat. So anyways,
instead, I usually like for stray cats that come to my house, and I'll say this as a funny thing, and I feel sorry for them, but some of them can be really damn annoying and be very disruptive in my yard. Instead, what I do instead of animal abuse is I scare them off, and like other people look at me like I'm crazy, but I actually show my teeth like an animal, and I kind of make my hands look like their claws.
Growl at them and shit.
Yeah, I actually did that before, and also started hissing at them, and they looked at me weird, like, "What the hell's wrong with this human?"
You're communicating in their language. That's what you're doing.
And then they start, like, some that are actually kind of ballsy and tried to do that with me, but I kept on making myself look bigger, and I was all like spreading out my arms and being really terrifying, kind of like
there's
demonic,
also
and then they start running off.
The squirting the water bottle.
Yeah.
Spray bottle.
The spray bottle. Yeah, whatever. People say that's abuse, but I had algebra teacher that did that to students, and that was perfectly
God.
okay.
Not abuse
Yeah.
because you're not physically harming them. You're doing something that irritates them. And you're actually, and when you do that, it's actually healthier to have them focus on the water or the spray bottle instead of you. Like, you know, if you're doing an action, like you're yelling at something, you know, like that's actions associated with you as opposed to a water bottle that's spraying water at them. They associate it with that. So it's easier to not ruin that bond that you would have with an animal as well.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't want them scared of you.
Right. That makes them defensive and they get like more aggressive and stuff on that. Right. And you don't want that.
Yeah. Exactly.
In this case, for a stray, I think I did the right thing by scaring them off.
Yeah.
Well, yes. I mean, because how many of those strays are actually fixed? That's going to be your main problem with cats. I'm just saying, it does make a difference. Same with dogs. It makes a big difference.
Wow.
Them balls, man. Them balls. Well, okay, so there's some
both
other
of my dogs are not fixed, by the way. However, that being said, it is a behavioral thing for when dogs, you know, pee on everything and whatnot. However, that being said, I do keep my dogs on a leash. I do not let them go up to other dogs without asking. If they are a female, I also ask if they're fixed. If they aren't, I mean, I'm careful to keep them apart anyways because I don't want to. It feels awkward for me in that scenario. But I also do it just in case.
Responsible thing. That's responsible, though.
Right. So I just wanted to clear that up just in case anybody was like, oh, and by the way, just as a kind of I guess bright point in this, I just posted a picture in general chat that I just found, guys. I just wanted you to take a quick look at that before we moved on because it has nothing to do with this topic whatsoever, and I just kind of needed to clear my head.
No, understandable. This is a lot to really stomach. I mean, this is a bad rabbit hole. I'm so sorry for dropping this on you guys, but you wanted it.
I know, it's very interesting, though.
But it needs to be exposed. It really does.
It does.
Well, remember, a while back we had the, I don't remember if she was on YouTube or if she was on TikTok, but you saw her abusing her dog.
Oh God, yes.
And it was actual abuse.
Yes.
People were. I won't. Like, I can't look at them. Like a minute I detect something like that, I have to instantly turn it off because I can't.
Yeah.
Me neither.
She was horrible. I mean, she was horrible, and they ended up calling. Somebody ended up calling animal cruelty in her or animal whatever it is in her area, and so forth. And I think she got prosecuted and so forth.
Good.
But we're going back into the thought
the
of
animal abuse.
You know, should.
But you see, though, there's a point to that, though, because the people that are posting this stuff, they know what works with the algorithm, and they know you're getting views. You're putting out clout. You're getting views. It doesn't matter what side it goes on, whether it's this, that. You're gonna have people going at it in your comments. That means more views. That means more people focusing on your stuff. The more controversial, that's what they do. This is how they get where they need to go, because I'm going to touch on that too. Because yes, it's pertinent.
Yeah.
I'm so frustrated with it.
But you know, it's and we're getting to that point where we're gonna have to wrap this up, which is it's hard to wrap up a subject like this because, like I said a minute ago, my animal lover side is cringing and crying and very, very triggered right now.
I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to.
No.
This is how bad it is, though.
But we have to bring this to light, and we're glad that you did.
Yeah, and it's like I do support, and I think you guys know this. I do support the Bat Sanctuary, which is a bat rescue organization in the United States. I don't know if they're outside the United States or not, but they will if they get a hold of a bat and it's hurt or something, they will either relocate it if it's able to be relocated immediately, they'll relocate it, or they will take it back to the sanctuary, which they have a special type of setup for the bats so that they can have the room that they need to heal from whatever injury they have and be safe with what they need. And as soon as they're healed, they go back into the wild. They don't stay at the sanctuary. They go back into the wild. And I mean,
they're vital. They're so vital to the ecology. I mean, just for reproduction of plants and for insect control, disease control. People just I think people need reassess what they think about bats in the first place. They're not creepy.
No, they're not.
Because they come out at night.
Touchy-feely creatures.
There are certain flowers that will only bloom at night and only cater to the bat.
Yes.
Because that's how they populate.
And there's we wouldn't have Doppler radar. We wouldn't have radar at all if it wasn't for bats.
Yeah, bats have actually inspired that, and also
medication.
Pets.
Yes.
For heart problems. I mean, Coumadin was based off of the vampire bat. The compound, the protein that they find in the spit of the animal, they were able to isolate that to be able to thin out the blood, to be able to help people who have heart disease and stuff like that. It's so, yes.
But, these animals... Okay, there are some insects that I wonder why they're even existing, but most animals...
Like wasps, they don't need to exist. I don't understand. They don't do anything.
Wasps.
They don't
make
flowers. Like, it's not like that. Bees can do that. Like, they're just these giant things that when they sting you, like, it hurts like a motherfucker. And, like, in Texas, they're like 3 inches long. Like, it's not okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
Yes,
and
the
bed
bats take care of the
bugs,
wasps then.
fleas, ticks,
Ugh.
roaches.
Yeah, there's no need for any of those. They don't need to exist. However, actually,
I could list out,
there's a name of this insect that actually lays eggs into cockroaches. I found out the other night, and so it does utilize the cockroach. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
But animal abuse, it hits. We're supposed to be stewards of this planet. Stewards means that you take care of. Doesn't mean you abuse it. Granted, we as a society are not the best stewards of this planet right now. But we have to do better.
Yeah.
Let this be a wake-up call, people.
There's people that are... Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. Go.
Between human on animal cruelty and animal on animal cruelty, because what we think is cruel, like, if an animal's hunting for survival or something like that, it's not, it's not being malicious. It has to do it for survival, or the way that, animals teach their children, like birds push them out of the nest, baby birds out of the nest to fly, because that's the way that's their way of them figuring it out, because they don't have the same skill set that we as people do, or the same communication that we as people would. So it's a big difference.
Yes. And also, you can go into even further than that. Have you seen male lions, the way that they play with the lion cubs? Some people consider that cruel, and it's not. That's the way that they learn to hunt. That's the way that they learn to protect themselves and their pack.
Than that too.
And I mean, animals with animals, there's usually, it's not abuse. There's a reason for it.
Yeah, and that's how they get their point across.
Right.
It's
with
doing
humans and animals, that's a whole different thing. And when the humans have what is the word I want?
Interjected into,
in something into their normal society. That's something that is a problem as well.
We're basing their behavior off of our ethics, and it's just it doesn't work that way.
Yes.
Right.
You need to learn.
Or there's some people that are really or there's some people who are really asocial and have a disconnect from society, and they get inspired by those kind of animals and thinking like, oh, that's how I should be strong, and that kind of thing. And no, you shouldn't.
And it's, you know, it's just like we do with history. You can't put today's morals on the past.
Right.
People are like, oh my gosh, in the Middle Ages they had children drinking and women who were pregnant drinking alcohol beverages. Well, it was safer than water.
Yeah.
It was actually safe. Yeah. It was safer than fruit juice, even. You know.
Yeah.
Because the water.
Same thing with the fairy tales. Sorry to interrupt, but it's like same thing when we talked about how the old fairy tales from Brothers Grimm are not suitable for kids of today, and I have to put warnings on them, and it's like for 13 and up on my channel.
Because it dealt with issues were back in the day, what they were dealing with, especially with Brothers Grimm. You look at, the things that, I mean, they're pretty heavily...
And they touch on different things. I mean, I didn't even think about it until I was actually looking at Red Riding Hood.
Oh, yeah.
It's better than don't go into the wood, and don't stray away from the path, and don't let yourself be don't lose your attention span to things that aren't necessary. If you're going somewhere, don't stray from that to do what you need to do. If you get distracted, you're not going to get it done. And
you need to be observant of things.
But
in general.
Right, and it goes further than that, because it also gets into the stalker. A murderer. Cannibalism.
Oh yeah.
And violators, and elder abuse, and I mean, it's got all these other things in there. Yeah,
we needed to cover that.
But it's just it's a whole nother realm of things when you start really looking at those fairy tales that we think of as children's tales. They're not children's tales. We may not have even realized it as children's, but they're not children's tales.
No, they're not. Similar to like your basic your politics of the time, basically, what they were going through at the time. You know, it's that. Yeah, it was issues of the time that they were trying to express in a certain way, so people would be able to do those things, because they are times change.
Yes,
we do change.
We do.
We have to adapt. That's what makes people prolific.
Yes, and that's why fairy tales from different authors vary so differently, because they're coming from different times. They're coming from different experiences. I had a question posed to me the other day of where a certain fairy tale, and I can't remember which one it was right at the moment, came from. And one of the choices was Brothers Grimm, and one of the choices was Hans Christian Andersen. And I'm looking at it, and I'm going, that's a Hans Christian Andersen one. I'm pretty sure. I don't want to have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure. And I answered that way, and I was right. But it was because I know his writing, and I understand how he wrote his stories. And I know a little bit about the man himself and his past and the world he was living in. So that kind of, answered the question.
Right.
Which, by the way, I had a lot of people throw a little bit of a tantrum with me in private about when I posted the Little Mermaid, original one, not Disney, and how it has a sad ending. and they throw a little fit about it, and I was like, well, grant to the author, not me. That's how it was.
Yeah.
Right.
Complain about it to the author. That we're not changing this to make you happy.
Right.
No.
Then
Cancel culture is too much because that's what that makes me think of. Like, it's just people trying to get the things that they don't like.
Yeah, and we could go into this so far, and we've already gotten so far into this big rabbit hole that Bansheebah brought us that we're expanding out. Yes,
because I know that we got to cut off. Okay, so I can remember where I was at.
The abuse.
Yeah, the abuse and everything. Okay, so you start getting into the videos that start talking more, and this is the part where I got disgusted because all the crap that I was watching about the monkeys in the wild and how the mothers were behaving with female, the mothers were behaving with the babies, and besides the animal abuse that was coming in, it still goes on because the dead monkeys start. Why do we need to look at dead monkeys? We're hitting on things that are making us feel bad. We want to watch more. It's like, this is a crisis. We need to fight for this. No, and I'll tell you why. Okay, monkey survival is not bad. In the wild, monkeys do just fine. It's when, and this is the point that you guys are bringing up, when human interaction comes in and starts interjecting into animal life. Shit does not remain the same. It changes. Now, okay, so this is where I'm going to have to use some code words and everything. During the, we'll just call it especially for 2020, in the cornholio incident, we'll call it. Yeah, we all are familiar.
I'm so confused, but you guys could just explain after or something.
Okay. The fact that we stayed in our homes to just chill with
that, yes. Okay, I was like, what?
Yeah, okay.
All right, got
it. Somebody hit on something, and they found that the public really was interested in it. Over in Cambodia. Why? There's a reason why there's so many videos out, so many different channels, and they change. Because they get reported, they come again. These people are making a lot more money than your average YouTuber in a short period of time, because you've got three or four different, actually. The innocent person who just wants cute baby monkeys. That's all they care about. They want to see the cute babies and mothers interacting. You want to see the supposed wildlife documentary type thing about what the babies in the mothers and monkey society and all the stuffers, whatever is going on or whatever, because you're getting feed a certain way, certain keywords, yeah. But you also have the haters that are coming in. You also are being, and they're taking to, which there apparently is a huge. It makes me want to puke. There is a huge call for it with your zoophilia, okay? Yeah, I said it. But it's not just touching on zoophilia. It's also touching on necrophilia.
Oh, God.
And then you combine the last two that we don't want to talk about. Yeah. Two combined into one. Huge market. And it's going unnoticed to YouTube.
Yeah.
Because of the way it's being issued. Now, during this cornholio incident, like I said, somebody picked up on this and started posting stuff. They found a way. They found a loophole to be able to get this stuff out there. It looks innocent. Let me tell you, why is there so many videos out there? Well, because there are so many people that are you think they care about the animals. They're filming about the animals. what's going on, what they're mentioning. You think they care. No, it's the views and the money, because there's such a huge market for it. This is why there's so much of it, and there's channels that are bringing this to view and showing what is actually going on.
And that
These
brings another thought to my head.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it's the question of, if somebody is filming that is tragic and
why are they not interjecting to what's going on?
Yes.
Are they responsible for it as well?
You know why? I'll tell you why. Because they're subjecting these animals. They're taking, you see the abandoned babies. There's not abandoned babies. That abandoned babies, as far as baby monkeys is concerned, is not a huge deal. There is very few cases of mothers shafting their babies. But
basically because
so many, they're taking them away from the mothers. They're doing it on purpose for the fact that they want to make money off of these individual monkeys, because they know there's a market in 4 different categories that's going to draw people in. Okay? So they're putting, and you see pet monkeys, what are you going to do when that baby monkey that you adopted that was so-called put into these horrible abusive situations that you saved these baby monkeys in the first place? They get to an age that you can't handle anymore. No longer, nobody wants to see the older ones. So what do? They will go and re-release them. Anchor what?
And they're not.
Anchor what?
And they're not able to.
Do you know what happens?
Live in the wild.
Exactly. Yeah. Because they've had human interaction, and you're dropping them off. You're abandoning that animal into an area where there's established wild monkey populations. You're going to have issues. You're going to have issues because they are territorial. So what do? When you start seeing these videos where you're seeing that somebody's they're doing it on purpose. They're letting people know, hey, I'm going to release this. Everyone be out there. For every monkey video you see in the wild that they're showing around Angkor Wat in Cambodia and whatnot, and they're starting to come out of Japan too. Any place that has these monkeys, anywhere, any type of primate, they're starting to come out. Right. Because there's a want for it. They're releasing these on purpose and making sure, because every video, guarantee you see, and some of them, they don't do a very good job at editing things out. You can piece shit together. You can piece this stuff together, what they're doing. But to every one monkey with a baby, there are 15 to 20 people video right there with their high quality cameras, videoing everything that's going on. And you wonder why the monkey population is so violent, and why is there so many dead babies? Why are so many? Because the mothers, after giving birth, are getting distracted because of the 20 people following her. And you can see it in some of the videos. You'll actually see the other people. They're literally chasing after these monkeys to get whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
So the mothers are distracted. They're trying to focus on their baby. They just had a baby, and you're going to chase them? 20 people. You're going to chase them. They have zero recovery time. They're distracted. Another monkey comes in, grabs the baby, and kills it.
And there's another difference between a CCTV video of a monkey and I'm holding the video camera chasing this monkey around.
Yeah.
And no one does anything. You see what's going on with these monkeys and what's happening. There's monkeys that are getting hit by motorcycles. And it is just distressing to watch these mothers that are trying to care for the babies, and they're walking around with this paralyzed baby that is near death, and they're just dragging them along. They don't know what to do. There's deceased baby monkeys that these mothers are trying to take care of, because they know something's wrong,
but they haven't realized
they don't know what. And then, after God knows how many freaking hours they've been videotaped or whatever. Finally, they get caught leaving the baby behind, and the baby's dead. And they just focus on the dead baby. Did anybody do anything to stop what was going on? No, because they took these pet monkeys, they threw them back into the wild. They just want that drama from whatever the reaction is between, you know, these monkeys, because it's good quality shit that they're putting on YouTube. All of it is done. These monkeys, this is not normal shit. But when you get into this freaking rabbit hole, and this is what pissed me off, because I was just like, why is there so much violence? It wasn't until the people started digging into it and the people started calling them out and started doing all the information and saying, you need to pay attention to this, because this is not what happens. This is not what happens. Okay? This is a product of people that are creating situations that the monkeys has to deal with. You're taking a monkey that has been stolen from their mother, not abandoned per se, stolen at such a young age, then you're doing all these bad things to this baby. Then they get to a certain age that the high rolling payers of what, you know, the zoos and the necros want from these videos, these dominatrix freaking bullshit.
The sadists, basically.
Sadists, yes, thank you. And you're taking them because they're no longer going to make you money. You go and release them and cause another issue out in the wild. They literally will put these monkeys in a tree next to a wild group. They will put them somewhere, you know, where they are absolutely clueless. But yet, when they're abandoned, that is true abandonment. That is true abandonment right there. It's what the humans are doing to them. Okay?
Yeah.
You drop them off on this area, which is extremely territorial, you know, group that is there. Right away, you see them looking around. They're constantly looking around. They're making hoops and hollers, and it's the same with the babies. You start hearing those hoops and hollers and whatnot. You think it sounds cute and everything? No, because you see the bitch standing there with her hand raised, and you see that monkey flinching because, monkey, you ain't behaving. I'm gonna... No, there's shit that's happening after the fact. The part that you don't see, you know it's happening because there are studies, and you go into the whole, you know, science. Okay, sorry, science. I know we learn a lot from science, but it did not come without its costs.
Right.
Because there is a ton of the deprivation.
Unethical things. Unethical
Deprivation.
things.
Taking a baby away from its mother, not putting it in an isolation and studying its behaviors to see and find out what happens to an animal when you take away everything that they know, all the nurture, everything, and isolate them. What happens? What happens to that?
Yeah.
Animals do get depressed. They are not stupid. They need that nurture. That's where they learn. They learn their shit from their parents.
And it's not something that is normal for them.
No.
Because that's something that humans have interjected again.
So, at the end of my rabbit hole, what have I learned? I am disgusted that I watched all these videos, watching this, thinking that what they were feeding me was actually what was going on in the wild. But because of the whole cornhole incident and everything, that there's so many of these videos out there, and if they get taken down and people call them out and they get banned, they make another channel and they keep doing it.
Yeah.
These people are making bank, and they made bank off of me because I was looking into this, because I fell into this rabbit hole because I wanted to know one thing. Guess what? It took me somewhere completely different that I didn't even expect.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I feel disgusted. I feel, oh God, yes, I was used. I was misinformed, which there's a lot of people out there that is they are being misinformed about what is actually going on. They don't realize it. Know that when you see stuff, go down in the comments and find out what people are saying, because you're going to see it yourself. I'm not saying to look up these things, because I'd rather you not, because like I said, because of the show, probably YouTube is going to suggest it to you. It's going to be in your algorithm, and it's going to take a while to be able to correct that, to be able to get off. Don't click on it if you don't want to know. Yet you're hearing it here. I really don't
click the
think
dislike button or anything.
Right. You can,
No
if you
interaction.
want, understand,
Yeah.
if you want to go and you want to report these people of what they're doing, because what they're doing is wrong, you'll see it. You'll notice it right away. Because what you thought was cute behavior for the babies, they are warning. They are warning. They're scared. They don't know what's going on, but they do. They do know what has happened to them because of the situations and how they're treated off camera. How they're treated. There is no such thing as so many abandoned baby monkeys. There is no such thing. You are being played. You are being played. I'm telling you right now, you're being played. You're being played. They are playing on your sympathy because they want views. They don't give a shit about the animals. They want money. That's what this is all about. They found a market and they're pulling on it. And why there's so many sick ass individuals out there that cater to this, there's some serious, it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yes, it is.
And for the innocent people that go out there and think that they're viewing stuff that is innocent, that, you know, I get it. No, you don't. You really don't. You're being played. Understand it now? You're being played. If that should be enough right there to piss anyone.
Yeah.
That somebody is using a situation to manipulate you into views and money so they can live their posh lives and cater to two separate groups that have come together that are the most despicable people that I can possibly think of.
Yeah.
That is just morally wrong. It's wrong. And there's innocent animals that are being subjected to this, and you're being played by it. And that's what I found at the end of my journey on this rabbit hole. And I'm just, the fact that I'm talking about it because it draws interest. I know it will draw interest. I know it will draw revenue to these people, but report this shit.
Yes.
But
Yes.
even, if enough of us can do it, maybe we can make a difference. But yes, it's not going to go away right away, because it's going to be, they're going to just keep coming back. They're going to keep coming back. And I think it's important that people know this, because I was thrown through that rabbit hole and I just completely oblivious to what was going on until finally somebody made videos that were starting to expose it and starting to point it out. You see this behavior? That's not normal. This is not right. You start going down and you start seeing things in the comments, and then they start coming out. And they are so much more crisp and clear what sides are coming out and the reason why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
The reason why they're doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that is that. I took you down my dismal road that I went down for the last 3 weeks. Three weeks I've been looking into this.
And she's been doing it without internet, folks.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, on my phone. I've got my phone. That's about it. But, this is just stuff that's the way it conspired. It was something that I always had a curiosity about, trying to figure out, why would somebody want to hate on monkeys? Why would? There's so much more. So much more.
Not
And
monkeys.
the whole staying home thing and people going out and finding a market for something where there's too much focus on some of the stuff. Way too much focus, and it's
this is where we would say we encourage you to dive deeper into this, but don't. Just don't.
no.
Just
No.
don't.
No. Yeah.
But I will say this is that for people who are unhappy with themselves and do this sort of thing just to make yourself feel better, please get mental help. I feel sorry for you. It's time to stop this because you keep on doing the cycle of, I'm not happy, then find a permanent solution to your problems and you won't have this repercussion of people hating on you because you're an asshole.
Yeah.
All right, we're just saying, do that.
Some of
guarantee
these flags, though, these groups, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there's really any help. They've gotten so deep on these things, and their own gratifications. It ain't right.
It ain't. And
yeah, it isn't. Come find me if you got something to say about it or whatever. Go ahead and say what you see. You're not changing my mind. You're not changing my mind, cause that's sick shit. You ain't right. You ain't right in the head. You ain't right in the head.
No.
There's nothing okay about that.
No, it isn't. Okay. Plus, it doesn't make you look cool or appealing or anything of that nature. No, it doesn't.
It's not okay. It's not okay.
No, it's a major turnoff to us honeys. So we're just calling you out, and also there's always some hope. Get yourself some mental help, please.
Yes, please. So 2 things for the comments. Or is it 3? Tell us what kind of you've fallen down online. And
icebergs.
Keep it nice.
Any icebergs?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, we don't need the full details. Keep it civil.
Right.
Also, how many times did you have to take a drink from just saying? And bacon.
Yes.
And bacon.
And if you've hugged your toilet afterwards.
Bacon.
Bacon lust is real. Yeah. Bacon lust is real. I'm just saying. Oh.
Never.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There's no attacks on the bacon. Nobody has anything bad to say. I don't care. I don't care. Mm-mm.
Also, if you've got cosplay or fan art of any kind, this includes written or visual, send it to our mailbox to share your interest with us. And speaking of interest, we don't have a shortage of any topics, but
no.
If you want us to
if you want it sooner, let us know.
Or if you have something we haven't even thought about, let us know. Send it to WeAllScream.HorrorHoneys @gmail.com so we can share them with everybody and discuss these things. Again, thank you to the Z Horde and our new listeners, even if you've just been lurking today. And you don't say anything at all to us. We thank you for being here and for listening. And thank you to Dezombified for allowing us this time and platform. You can tell I'm having problems still.
It's all good. It was a lot to stomach today.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
And please
didn't say it was going to be pretty.
Please come and join us for our next video.
Yes.
So, bittersweet dreams.
Bittersweet dreams.
Bittersweet dreams.